Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos and today we're going to talk about break-even return on ad spend. Is yours high enough? So, if you are having an e-commerce store, you are getting sales and you run any type of ads without knowing your break-even ROAS, I talk with so many people every day, and to be honest with you, I rarely find people that they actually know their break-even ROAS. And I don't talk with dropshippers or beginners only, and even if the people that I talk to don't own multi-million dollar companies, they still do spend a lot of money for their Facebook advertisements. There are people that are fortunate enough to have succeeded in their early stages and never went into great details about costs, or maybe somebody else from their team was doing it for them. The point that businesses tend to start caring about their break-even ROAS is typically after they have had some initial success and they start trying to scale. You need to know your break-even ROAS at that point because higher spend means less ROAS in most of the cases. In my honest and humble opinion, your average profit margin has to be calculated even before you decide to build your store. This is the number that will help you calculate your break-even return on ad spend, therefore your first or next marketing steps. We all know that Facebook is becoming more and more expensive.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
This is a fact, nobody can actually deny this, and some companies don't even think about Facebook as an initiation platform, but mostly as a scaling platform and their next steps as soon as they generate some sales and data. That means that if your profit margin is not high enough, maybe Facebook is not a platform for your business, since the marketing cost can actually kill all of your profits. Let's be clear about something. Nobody invited you to advertise on Facebook. It was your choice, and believe me, Facebook is going to survive even without your business. What do you actually expect? To get a letter from Zuckerberg? Dear Konstantinos, please come to advertise on our platform and we will give you exactly the CPMs that you want and the return on ad spend that you want so that you can be happy and profitable. We promise. Yours sincerely, Mark Zuckerberg. In other words, and let me clear my throat for that, you have to adapt your business to follow the Facebook logic and not the opposite. If your mentality is, nah, I just haven't found the right person to do my ads and everything on my site is correct, I won't say that you are wrong, but as you keep hiring new people and they fail to bring the ROAS that you actually want, maybe you will start realizing that you are some way wrong. Now, if your profit margins are like 20% or 50% and you keep trying to advertise on Facebook because you think that it's a cheap platform, you kinda remind me of these guys that they try to find a very serious relationship on Tinder. Enough with the lecture, it is time to do some math. If you don't know how to calculate your profit margins and your break-even ROAS, let me help you with some simple examples. First, we have to calculate your profit margins. Let's imagine that you have an item that sells for $18 and the cost of manufacture, shipping, personnel and other cost is $11. Your profit margin will be your selling price minus the cost divided by the selling price. And in that case, it's going to be 38.88. If you have several products with different profit margins, calculate your average profit margin or the profit margin of the products that you want to advertise with paid ads. As you can understand, when you run paid ads, you have the marketing cost on top of any other existing cost, and you need to know your break-even return on ad spend, or ROAS as we call it. A very easy way to find it is if you divide 1 by the profit margin, which is 38.88% from our previous example, and in that case the break-even ROAS is going to be 2.57. Every business has its own break-even ROAS, and it is the line that you draw between profit or loss. Don't gamble, don't hope, just look at the numbers and make educated decisions. In order to calculate your ROAS, you need to divide the revenue by the ad amount spent, and it goes without saying that the higher the revenue, the higher the ROAS. And the lower the cost of the ads, come on, say it, the higher the ROAS. Thank you. What is a good achievable break-even ROAS then? It really depends. I have worked with accounts where 1.5 was super good and other businesses that were selling super expensive items that 10 ROAS was good. There is no such thing as a general good or bad ROAS. It all comes down to what is sustainable for its business. All I'm trying to say is that you need to know your numbers, your profit margins and your break-even ROAS. If you have tested Facebook ads a lot of times and it's not working, try gathering pixel data with influencers, Google ads, TikTok ads, or any other platform that you can think of and that is going to be easier as a cost per result. And then try Facebook ads again with your new trained pixel. Or adapt. Change your profit margin, lower your costs, or even increase your average order value in your store. At the end of the day, if one person comes to Facebook from an ad and buys one item for $20 or 10 items for $200, for Facebook the cost per purchase is the same in both cases. If you are able to sell more to each customer, it is totally up to you. Your site, your offer, your funnel experience, and it is not Facebook's fault if people don't spend a lot of money in your store. In other words, adapt and stop blaming Facebook or using it as an excuse for not improving any other single aspect of your business or even as an excuse to quit. In any case, that's all I had for you about the break-even ROAS. Hit the like button if you liked the video and subscribe if you want to see more in the future. If you feel like it, leave your questions below with the hashtag AskKonstantinos and your question might be featured in a future video. And don't forget, if you want to learn more about Facebook ads, you can read my book or check my courses. Links are going to be below in the description. Until we meet again, be creative and be consistent.